On this week's episode, I've got lots of summer house news, lots of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills news, some Real Housewives of Rhode Island news, some Valley news, and some sad news out of Real Housewives of Orange County. So stay tuned for all of that and more. And if you would like ad-free, head over to patreon.com/Bravo and Botox, where you can enjoy ad-free episodes, all episodes ad-free for $3 a month. And you can also support the show. Enjoy today's episode. Welcome to the Bravo Papers, a safe space for all us Bravo fans who love to analyze, deconstruct, and talk about our favorite Bravo shows ad nauseum. So join me, Bravo and Botox, and we'll catch up on all the Bravo news and read way too much into our favorite shows and Bravo celebrities.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bravo Papers, Bravo Weekly News, here with your host, Emily. And I know I missed you guys last week, but I was away for the weekend, for the Mother's Day weekend, so I couldn't record, so I had to skip that week. So my apologies for that. And yeah, we got lots of news to catch up on, though. But before we even get into that, happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend and that you got to be pampered and or just left alone, because we all know that that's what we really want. And that you had some relaxation and all that stuff. And what was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh, yeah. We may as well announce this right off the top, since I'm talking about Mother's Day and I'm going to talk about Summer House, which is that Danielle from Summer House is pregnant. So congratulations to Danielle. You know, I haven't always liked her, depending on the situation and stuff. But listen, at the end of the day, it's a happy announcement and I'm happy for her because I think that's clearly something that she wants and she seems and looks happy about it. Some people are kind of commenting like, isn't he still married kind of thing? I don't know. Like we saw that in the preview for In the City, that the guy was still married technically, but I don't know. Like, I'm kind of like, okay, if he's separated and they just have to wait till they can get divorced and they're, they've agreed to date other people, like it's kind of like, you know, who cares? I don't know. Like, yes, maybe it's better to wait till the ink is dry on the divorce papers to get pregnant, but maybe it was an accidental pregnancy. We don't know, right? Maybe this wasn't planned. What I do know and remember is Danielle and all her snarky comments when Lindsay was pregnant out of wedlock. So, listen, it's like one of those things. It's like sometimes I'm like, I just think that she's just looking to criticize Lindsay. She doesn't even really like believe the stuff that she says. Like when she was like, oh, you're going to be like single momming it up and da da da. It's like, well, now you're doing that technically because you're not like you're with him, but Lindsay was with her guy too at that time and you're not married. And yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just the criticism, she gave that criticism, but now she's doing the same thing, which is very Danielle. Sometimes I feel like she just like wants to be Lindsay so bad because was not able to be a compelling kind of reality TV character that she wanted to be. And it just never went well for her. But yeah, I'm surprised she's on In the City. Like I'm surprised, but not surprised. Like surprised in the sense of like, she's not great reality TV, not surprised in the sense of like the producers are messy. So they're going to bring on someone to fight with Lindsay. So there's that too. Okay. What other summer house news do we have? West has more to say on his podcast. He says that, these are his friends and he fucked up big time and he's sorry. He says, but we're on the other side of this and the reunion was the first step and I'm going to try to learn and be better going forward. I'm sorry, we're on the other side of this. No, we're not on the other side of this. And I don't know it like I feel like he's delusional. He is treating this like it's like just any other storyline. It's not. And we don't want to see you on TV anymore. Like I don't want to watch him anymore. I have no interest in him on my television. Like ugh. And I feel like they're going to force us down his throats, just like they did with Sandoval. And I feel like it's going to be a disaster, just like it was with Vanderpump Rules. So I guess we'll see what happens. Um, Wes does also address that his nudes leaked. So listen, this was something that was floating around. Thankfully, I never saw them. I didn't want to see them. No one sent them to me. Thank you for all those people who didn't send them. And apparently they were floating around on X, Twitter, whatever. And I just didn't see them. So I'm happy about that. But all that being said, he says like he doesn't care and they're not sexual. He's soft in them. But he kind of like laughs it off. But then he says, it's not fun. Like PSA, it's not fun, which listen, I don't know why that happened. It's just so like, how did your nudes leak? I just don't get how that happens sometimes. Like, I get how it happens with like revenge porn kind of things. Like, I understand that, but I'm like, who leaked them? Like, was it like one of his exes who was pissed off? But then why did they have these like non sexual, like after the gym pictures? Because he kind of made it out like that was what it was, like progress pics or whatever. But yeah, either way, people should not be sharing nudes and like it's not cool, it's illegal, it's messed up. Like it's I don't care what someone does, they don't deserve that. Um but yeah, West still sucks despite that. Okay, so what else do we got? KJ was on Watch What Happens Live. This made a lot of just waves last week. And unfortunately, I was off, not doing the news last week, so I kind of missed it, but we're going to talk about it now. KJ read a text on Watch What Happens Live, and he was on Watch What Happens Live and he gets this text, or he talks about how he has this text from West and that he hasn't read the text yet. And it's the only text, alert in his, like the only like unread text in his messages. And, if you're like me, I cannot stand the red notification dot. I'm like, I got to read it. So, but KJ was like, I can't read it. And then he ends up reading it on the air with a little bit of push from Andy. And Andy puts it out as like a joke, like, why don't you read it now? But you can tell he's like serious. And then the audience kind of cheers him on. So he does read it. Okay. So here's what it says. I wanted to thank you for your articulation and kindness yesterday. Okay. And we'll get to that. Despite being hurt, I've been off social and I think I lost touch with how much hurt there was. I'm incredibly sorry. Also sending you love in regards to your mental health. You shared a lot yesterday and I know it might carry much, and I know it might carry much weight now. Is he trying to say, I know it might not carry much weight now? I feel like that's what he meant to say. But I'm always rooting for the best for you. I know it will take some time, but whenever you feel like you're ready, lunch or a phone call would mean a lot in the spirit of healing. No need to respond. Take your time. Okay. So can we, right off the bat, first thing he says, articulate. Thank you for your articulation. Okay, West. Like, come on. That's the first thing you're going to say. Yeah, we see you, West. Okay, we see you. And then I heard just the other day, who was it? Was it Jesse? It was either Jesse or Carl, but one of them said in an interview that they got like almost the exact same text from West. So I'm like, I think he's like copy and pasting this shit. Like, I don't know. I just don't believe I just don't believe he's sincere. And the other thing that drives me crazy about this is that he's like, oh, thank you for your kindness yesterday. I lost touch with how much hurt there was. I don't think he lost touch. If you want to know my absolute truth here, I think that him and Amanda are actually annoyed at everyone for being this upset about it. Like, I really think that that's the vibe we're going to get at the reunion. And I'm not just saying that because of the reunion leaks and all that other stuff, and because we have heard some of it. I really think that they are under the sort of thing. I don't know what I'm saying today. They are under the thought process of, why is everyone so annoyed with this? It's not even that big of a deal. Like, get over it. Like, who cares? This isn't Scandival. This isn't like, that's what I think that they both think. And that's why I think that they weren't that concerned with the hurt of other people, because they really didn't think it was that bad. Like, I honestly believe that. And I think that they also think that this is something that everyone is just going to get over, and it's like a one season kind of isolated thing. Like, I think they're kind of delusional in that sense. And I think it's because West has been able to bounce back from something pretty bad with like the him and Sierra thing. And I got to blame the audience for that. Like, sorry, but people really, like, he did that thing to Sierra. Everybody was losing their absolute minds, like ripping him to shreds. And then he comes back and he's all like, I didn't know. Anyway, everyone falls for it. Everyone forgives him. And then everyone starts shipping them. Like, oh my God, I want West and Sierra to be back together. And everybody was, up until we found out about Amanda. And I was not, because I'm like, why do people want, like, people hated this guy so much, and he showed his true colors. Like, why do people want them to get back together? And why is Sierra even giving him another chance? And again, I don't subscribe to that like perfect victim thing. So me saying that or criticizing Sierra does not mean that she deserves what happened to her. It just means that, like, I think that a lot of people would benefit from being maybe a little bit more like Lindsay, in the sense, maybe you're like, where is this going? People are giving Lindsay so much shit for like holding her grudge against Carl. And like, she's obsessed with him. Why does she keep saying snarky things? And like, fine. Would I do those things? No, I wouldn't. But that being said, maybe it's okay to hold a grudge a little bit longer and to be on the defense more. Like, don't forget. Like, we don't forget how, like, we don't need to forget how Carl acted at his worst. We don't need to forget how West acted at his worst. It doesn't mean we can't still enjoy them on TV in some ways. Well, not West, but it's like, people are just like, okay, we like him again. He's like, we ship them, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like, okay, maybe we all need to be a little bit more petty. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And then someone's going to be like, but forgiveness is important. Listen, not for me. I'm watching reality TV. I don't need to forgive. Okay. KJ, where was I? What else did KJ say? He also asked about a reply he wrote saying he has a story to tell on social media. Okay, so basically somebody posted like a clip, and they were like, why is Wes being so handsy with Bailey and the women in the house? So this was from like maybe not last episode, but the one before. And then KJ replied and wrote, I have a story to tell, basically. And then they ask him on Watch What Happens Live, like, what does that mean? And KJ says, oh, I'll tell it at the reunion. And Andy's like, I like your style, KJ. Okay. KJ knows how to work it. He knows how to be a good reality star. Meanwhile, Kyle Cook did yet another, 5-hour street interview with that same guy. That guy is obviously his friend. We all know that. But basically the overview of it is that, 2026 has been a whirlwind for him. So he addressed West Wilson's leaked nudes, and he kind of like suggests that maybe they weren't leaked. Like, he's like, oh, maybe West leaked them himself. And then he's like, no, but I'm just kidding. He says that the photos were sent to him, though, like right before they filmed the reunion. Here's the thing. I also, like, I know Kyle says he was joking, but I think there was some truth to it. I wouldn't be surprised if West leaked those as well. But the only reason I think that he didn't is because they weren't like sexual. kind of thing. Like, I think he would want himself to like look his best. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think he didn't leak them. But yeah, I mean, I see why Kyle says that though, because West is very much about like PR. And I think he would put things out if he thought it could get him some sympathy or people to like lay off of him a bit. Again, like, I don't want to sound like insensitive, but there is a part of me that thinks that his team is the one that released the story to TMZ about his grandmother being murdered by his cousin. Cause there is a part of me that thinks like he just wants the public to lay off of him and leave his family and him alone, which again is like a human thing. Like, that doesn't like, I can understand you wanting, I'm sure his family's getting messages if they were with the other Sierra thing. I'm sure they are now. But, and again, I'm not trying to be insensitive or say that that situation is not tragic or difficult for him or his family, but it is suspect to me that TMZ got a hold of it. And could it have come from someone else who just knows them? Of course. But I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I just wouldn't. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just really a 40 something perimenopause woman who just believes a lot of like the worst. I don't know. Maybe I'm too pessimistic. I don't know. Okay. So Kyle also confirmed that he did make out with Megan King. He says it's just a one-time thing. He's still single. Good, good, Kyle, because that can't be your next relationship. Just no. He hinted that his friendship, well, he didn't hint, his friendship with West is damaged. Okay. He says he's like, one of the things that he's most bothered by is West's ease of lying. And they did release like a little like preview clip for the Summer House reunion. And that was actually one of the things that is in the clip is like kind of Kyle, Sierra, and some of them having almost like a pep talk before it starts about how easily West lies. For the longest time, my front porch was a tragedy. I had a wreath with the greenery falling off, nowhere to sit on nice days, and a doormat that was faded and way too small for the space. But thanks to Wayfair, my front porch looks so beautiful for spring and summer, and I was able to find exactly what I needed to match my vibe. The exterior of my home is kind of modern farmhouse, so I needed to find decor that would complement that style. And although Wayfair has like thousands of items, they make it really easy to find what you need. So I was able to narrow down by the style, price, size, and even colors for everything I wanted. I wanted to get a lavender wreath, 26 inches. I just used the filters and no problem. I found one that is perfect. And I love that I could get everything I needed for my front patio in one place, like a chair, my new wreath, front doormat. I got lanterns and a decorative watering can, and it all just looks exactly how I envisioned it. So get prepped for patio season for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
As I've been getting older, I've become more and more intentional about what I wear day to day, leaning into pieces that feel effortless, comfortable, and still put together. It just makes getting dressed way easier. And Quince has been my go-to. The fabrics feel elevated, the fits are flattering, and everything just works without overthinking it. Quince makes it easy to refresh your everyday this spring with pieces that feel as good as they look. They use premium materials like 100% European linen, organic cotton, and ultra soft denim. Speaking of denim, I recently got a pair of their Bella Stretch Relax straight jeans, and I'm obsessed. They are the most comfortable jeans I've ever owned. They're still like structured and supportive, but so comfy. I have jeans that are literally double the price and not as comfortable or high quality as the ones from Quince. And because of the price, I am definitely going back and buying them in more colors, like ASAP. So refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/Bravo Papers for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's quince.com/Bravo Papers for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Bravo Papers. Okay, so besides that, there was also a kind of like vulture event where they were doing these like reality star thing and they had a red carpet and all that. And we did get some tidbits from the Summer House cast about, how things are going. And Carl says that he has not talked to West. He says that West has reached out to him. And he says, listen, I've also hurt people in the past. He's like, but I care about how I make people feel and other people's emotions. He says, and that he thinks that West still doesn't fully understand the impact of some of this. And he says, we've gone over the Sierra stuff so many times in the past. And, he's still doing it, which exactly. We cannot forget about the past. Like, this man has shown us who he is many times, and him making it in front of her, like, to me, that should be the nail in the coffin. Like, the fact that people, like, I honestly think if this Amanda thing hadn't happened, I think people would have explained that away too, and like still been shipping him and Sierra. So the fact that West did this after all of that, like, he doesn't give a shit. He really doesn't. He just doesn't. And then Carl says that he doesn't have a lot of grace and he can't hold space for someone like that. That's such a Carl thing to say. But that being said, I agree with him. So Mia was also on the red carpet and they asked her about that scene with her and Amanda on the beach. And so if you forgot, you probably didn't if you're a Summer House person, but it was from 2 episodes ago. And they're sitting on the beach and Amanda's like, oh, no, I would die for her. I'll like kill someone if they hurt Sierra. Like, just give me the signal and I'll pounce. And like Amanda's going on and on about how she's like such a loyal, good friend. And everyone was kind of like clocking like the faces that Mia was making. And was like, oh, Mia knows like this woman is like just doing too much. And it just seemed kind of fake because it really did. It was just like, it was so extra. Like, it was like, thou doth protest too much. And it was very try hard. Like, I don't know. I saw somebody on Threads and they said that they think it was like Amanda's kind of competitiveness, like, I'm as close with Sierra as you are, and like, because Mia has come into the house and her and Sierra have such a long history and they're actually close and have a deep friendship. It was like, Amanda has to like, pee on her territory or sort of like try to claim that she's just as close as her with her as Mia is. And I could see that. It's always a competition with Amanda. West is the same way. The two of them are always like, I need the most attention from men or women, and I need to be like the most liked by the audience. Like, they both have that in them, and it's very obnoxious. The other thing is she's probably overcompensating because at this point she's banged West. So there's that too. But yeah, so they asked Mia about that and they're like, people notice you were kind of making faces. And then Mia's like, yeah, my spidey senses never lie. So yeah, so she confirms that she was just thinking it was weird that Amanda was going on and on. Kyle on the red carpet says he doesn't know if anything was happening last summer. He thinks it's possible based on the footage. He also thinks that West moving his chair over so that was very like calculated so he could look like the champion of women, and he was trying to gain more favor with the audience, and basically like he knew Amanda was going to be like, the kind of like hero, not the hero, but like the one that everyone would be like rallying behind because of the divorce. So he was trying to hitch his wagon to Amanda's horse. And I think Kyle read that perfectly. That is exactly what he was doing. It's not just because they're banging. It's not, it's just because this is his way of being like the heroic guy. He wants the audience to love him. That's the thing with him and Jesse. They've always had this competition with each other. And, I think West is just a lot more sneaky about it. I think Jesse's not as good at it. So yeah, definitely. Like, I think just Kyle read him like a book. Okay. So we love that. Okay, what else do we have from Summer House? Oh, yeah, we have that other huge, mungus scandal, like sub scandal. I don't even know what to call it that came out of Summer House, which is the Jen Fessler of it all. This is you, if you had told me this 6 months ago that this would be a thing, I would be like, you're crazy. Like, it's almost like somebody had pictures of, Bravo stars on their wall. It's like you gave a monkey some darts and they started throwing them. And like, these are the scandals, like Megan King and Kyle, Jen Fessler and West. Like, it feels so random, but it's not. So, okay, so this all started, if you don't know about this, I'll give you the background. Basically, this all started with Jen Fessler on a red carpet. Okay, she gets asked about the scamanda of it all. Okay, and she goes on this little speech about how Wes didn't mean to hurt anyone. He's a golden retriever. I love him. Sorry he hurt Sierra, but he didn't mean it. Just forgive him, blah, blah, blah. And how he's so great. And she loves Wes so much. And like basically excusing all of his actions, making it sound like he's just like an innocent little puppy and that we all need to lay off of him, whatever. Okay. That was her first mistake. So she gives this opinion. Okay. And then the video of it is circulating around on social media and on threads and all that kind of stuff. And then Sierra Miller on threads responds to it and says, LOL, because they slept together too. Oh my God. And then from there, an absolute shitstorm on social media of the best kind possible. People pulling up old clips and looking for clues and things like that. So people noticed like a post from March 13th, 2025 that Jen Fessler posted. And it's like, say something bad about Wes Wilson. I dare you, at Wesling Conrad, with your gold hair and your golden heart. It's impossible not to adore you. And this is in like a carousel of pictures, him included in them. And then there's like this video from May 2024 where the two of them are at some club event, whatever, and they both look absolutely annihilated drunk, and they're like eating pizza and he's got his arm around her and she's like going on and then there's like this other clip where she was on Watch What Happens Live with Jackie Goldschneider, and Andy asked a question about like hall passes, and Jen Fessler doesn't say West, but when she's about to say who her answer is, Jackie is like, oh, I know who yours would be, West. And like everyone just laughs it off. Like no one really thinks anything of it. Because at this time, like, why would anybody? And they make a joke like, oh, yeah, I met him. He was cute, whatever. And anyways, so this turned into like an absolute gong show on social media. Like people finding so much evidence and stuff like that. And to the point, and people just like, posting about it on threads, talking about it everywhere, making memes, like all that kind of stuff. And oh, wait, I forgot a couple of the other pieces of evidence. So there was also, what was it? Jen Fessler's anniversary post that was posted like a couple weeks ago. And she said, happy 27. You could sleep with West or Amanda and I'd stay. Like, why are you even mentioning that in your anniversary post? Like, I think she thinks it's like funny. And I'm like, playing on the big scandal right now, but it's weird. And then people pulled up like lots of pictures from BravoCon 2025, and it's so funny. It's like West with Amanda and Jen Fessler on the other side, and like more than one picture. And then West had like a comment, I love you so much. And then Jen Fessler, and this was on Jen Fessler's post. And then she responds and says, more and always, my love. What is wrong with you? See, this is like a type of person, and Amanda and Jen are in the same category. Sorry, but it's true. Okay. I know some people aren't going to like that, but I don't care. They're the same type. Okay. So after all this stuff is happening, I guess Jen sees that, she should have just sat there and ate her food. So she has to put out a post, and she says on create mode, in all seriousness, and while I can't help but be a little flattered, it is not nice, nor is it okay to post something categorically untrue and defamatory on social media, regardless of whatever rumors or apparent evidence led you to that conclusion. That is the definition of libel. If it were true, I would have no recourse. because it's a lie, this can get more complicated. Having said that, I hope that we can rectify this. It's enough now. So basically threatening Sierra because, you know, people were going to drag Jen Fessler for defending West no matter what. But I think it got taken to the next level because Sierra outed that they slept together. And they totally, like, do I believe they slept together? 1,000 gajillion%. Like, there's not one doubt in my mind that they slept together. But all that being said, you know, it's like a masterclass in like, you get involved in business that isn't yours. You know, you try to like defend someone who just doesn't need defending. And it's like, and you got your comeuppance and that's it. So yeah, that's why I'm just kind of like, all right, sorry, Jen. And now you're threatening Sierra with legal action. Like, get out of here. She's not actually going to do something because since then she's been like on the Two T's in a Pod podcast or whatever. And, you know, I feel like she's kind of walked that back a little bit. So she went on that podcast and tried to do damage control. So here's what she said. She said, I don't want to get into this because I don't want the whole to become a legal mess because I'm not trying to hurt Sierra in any way. Also, now she doesn't want it to be a legal mess because people went nuts when she said she was going to sue Sierra. Like people were like, this woman's been through enough. Now you're going to sue her. But she wrote something, she put something on social media in print that wasn't true and that hurt my family. So my husband is, I mean, were you alluding to the fact that you were going to sue Sierra? That's what Tamara asked. And then she says, and then I think Teddy's like, yeah, are you going to take legal action? And then Jen says, listen, again, I have a husband who's an attorney and he has a business and a reputation to protect. I don't want to sue Sierra. I feel like Sierra is still reeling from what was done to her. I'm not interested in being a pile-on for that. But I can't not say, you can't just lie and say something and put it on social media and have it affect my family and my husband and my children and think that's not going to affect me and that I'm not going to have, a response to that. Okay, so yeah, but again, to be fair, you went in an interview and had a response to what's going on in her life that was kind of downplaying what she went through and making her hurt look like it wasn't that big of a deal and just get over it. And West is an adorable puppy dog. I know it's not the same, but I'm just saying, like, this is your own, you should be suing yourself for idiocy. How about that? Sue yourself for being a moron and, you know, keep your mouth out of other people's business. Like that's kind of the lesson here, I think. Anyways, I don't think she's actually going to sue because I think she knows that that would like just, she'd be completely canceled from the Bravo community. And, you know, even though she wasn't even a main like housewife or anything, I do think that she enjoyed some of the, you know, clout and, you know, going to BravoCon and just having some attention and stuff like that. But yeah, man, she messed that one up bad. Meanwhile, in other summer house news, because there is more, believe it or not, there's more. The opportunities are flooding in for Sierra. So it looks like, you know, she's got this Old Navy partners. She had the Sephora one. She has Old Navy. What else does she have? Has a DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse one coming out. You know, we just found out that she's going to be the co-host of the After Sun, the Love Island After Sun show, which is awesome. She's really going like the similar route as Ariana. You know, she's getting the full I was cheated on kind of package, which she deserves 100%. Yeah, because Dancing with the Stars, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, I feel like every time she posts or there's like a new announcement, like her Old Navy ad came out or they posted just Sierra in her reunion dress before they showed us like the rest of the cast a few days later. It seems like Amanda pops up and will randomly post an Instagram story. So like the reunion dress dropped and then Amanda posted a selfie of herself, like, you know, in like glam, like getting ready, I guess, for some sort of filming or confessional. Cause there's like, you know, it's one of those mirrors with the lights around it. And then she just wrote, boo. Okay. Oh, you're so clever. Anyways, and then I guess boo as in like, I'm gonna scare you. Like, I'm here, boo. I think that's what she means. I don't know. But then people compared it to a story that Danielle posted because she was in what looks like the exact same spot, like same like setup, same background, same everything. So it looks like they were filming confessionals for In the City. So of course Amanda just couldn't help but share that. And then when it was announced that she was going to be on After Sun, um, Amanda's got a post like an IG of like her like walking her dog. She really is trying to use those dogs. Like it's not working, but she's really trying. So yeah, lots of opportunities for Sierra. We love that. Congratulations to her. I think, all of that stuff is well deserved and I think she's going to make the best of it. So good for her. I'm not going to lie, I've been needing new glasses for a while now. I got glasses when I turned 40 and now I'm 42 and I have the same pair and they have a chip on the paint on the frame. Plus, I'm very over the style that I chose. And, I've been wearing them for a while because going to get new ones, it just takes so long and it's like a whole production. And I just don't have time to like schedule the appointment, wait forever. And it's so expensive. I paid over $300 last time just to get a frame that I like. So I'm really glad I discovered Zenni. It's an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light glasses starting at under $30. You go to zenni.com, pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no like upsell at the counter. My favorite part is their virtual try on. Not gonna lie, I had the best time trying on so many styles in the comfort of my own home without anyone pressuring me or trying to upsell me. And I love my new glasses. They're good quality. They look exactly like the virtual try on. And finally, I have a cool updated aviator style that I've been wanting for a while. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now is the time. Go to zenni.com/podcast and use code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. Despite my online handle being Bravo and Botox, I've actually never had Botox. And not that I'm against it, but for now, I'm putting it off and I'm trying to just really focus on high quality skincare. I'm 42 now, and I definitely notice more fine lines and loss of firmness in my skin specifically. So I can't just buy any skincare anymore. I need something to specifically address those issues. And that's what OneSkin's OS1 peptide has done for me. I've been using their OS1 moisturizer and my life has changed. The feel, the texture, the glow of my skin, honestly, it's really improved. And unlike other moisturizers, it doesn't make my skin too greasy or too dry, which has always been an issue for me because I have combination skin. And my favorite thing about OneSkin is that it was founded by a team of female scientists with PhDs, women supporting women. And the skincare is backed by rigorous science and research. You can even read about the team and their story on their website. Born from over a decade of longevity research, OneSkin's OS1 peptide is proven to target the visible signs of aging, helping you unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age. For a limited time, try OneSkin with 15% off using code BRAVOPAPERS at oneskin.co/BravoPapers. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code BRAVOPAPERS. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Okay, so let's go to some Beverly Hills news because there is a lot of Beverly Hills news this week. The biggest thing is that there's these texts that were released between Dorit and PK because I guess some court filings came out in regards to their divorce, obviously. And because of this, I guess some texts were released. So, and these are kind of giving us, I think, more truth than we ever get from Dorit or PK. Because, I mean, I've always looked at the two of them as liars. Like, you have to take everything they say with a grain of salt. I think the two of them are I think they've been kind of like conning and misleading who they are from the jump, but whatever. Okay, so One, I'm not going to go through all the texts because there are so many. And, you know, as you would expect of Dorit, a lot of them are really long winded and she's writing like novels. So is he, though, in like, just to make it fair, he is too. But these are kind of the main takeaways from them. Okay. So, one thing that they talk about is the possible foreclosure of their house. Okay. So she texts PK and she says that she received a notice that the house might go to auction and says it's really scary. And then um, she thinks that the text that she got about the house, or the notice, sorry, might be like, she's asking, is this real? Um, and I guess PK initially told her that he thought it was fake or that she misunderstood it or something. But she's like, no, I think that this is real. So she, in the text, accuses him of basically failing to pay overdue mortgage amounts. She asks why the foreclosure issue hasn't been resolved yet. He pushes back, says that she's delaying agreements that could help them solve the problem, but it's not really clear what those are. And then, so yeah, like this is just, I'm sorry, but Amanda, I know like Amanda got a lot of criticism from kind of that group, but she was actually 100% right. Like Dorit has no idea what her finances are. She has no idea who's paying the mortgage. She thinks that PK's resolved it, but he hasn't. He's got her name on everything. Like the amount of control that he has over finances is crazy. And it seems like the only thing that she knows when it comes to finances is how to shop. So, you know, and he could be moving money around and hiding money. He could be putting things in her name only and not telling her so that she's the one who gets messed up and fucked over when push comes to shove. And that seems like it's exactly what he's doing. And I'm not blaming her all for this, but I'm just saying that is what's going on. Right. So it's like, I'm sorry, Amanda wasn't wrong. Like, sorry, Dorit. I know you don't want to hear that, but because the other thing that comes out in the text is that basically PK is pissed about her spending habits. So he claims that she spent close to 1 million on designer shopping, travel, and luxury purchases while their family was struggling financially and behind on mortgage payments, which is crazy. And there are actual like receipts and all that kind of stuff that you can see online pretty easily of what she spent. Like there's like a breakdown of like she spent this much at Chanel, this much at Gucci, like all this kind of stuff. Um, Now, that being said, the only thing that confused me was kind of like he's telling her that he's making the mortgage payments or dealing with the foreclosure, but then he's mad that she's spending this money and not paying the mortgage. So who's supposed to be paying the mortgage? But that being said, I understand what he's saying in the sense of like, he's like, you're asking me for, because he says in the text, basically, you're asking me for money and like support and all this stuff to like keep our kids in like private school or like whatever expenses, but then you're spending $1 million, like you've got a spending problem. Now, all that being said, is he wrong about that? No. But is he the pot calling the kettle black? Yes, because he's also spent millions on gambling. So let's not forget that he had a gambling problem, had to pay 3 million to the Bellagio, like all this stuff. So he's not innocent either. The two of them are a disaster. Okay. The two of them are like Kyle and Amanda in a different universe with way more debt. And that's crazy because Kyle has a lot of debt. But the truth is that he's a gambleaholic and an alcoholic. And I hope he's getting help for those things or that he's slowed down. She's a spending aholic, shopaholic, whatever. They both have these addiction problems. They're both like addicted to this like high life and like portraying like they have more than they do. They're both irresponsible financially. If either of them was responsible, I think the house wouldn't be going into foreclosure. But you have two people who are both irresponsible, and you have one who's kind of dumb and one who's a bit smarter, that's PK, who's taking her for a ride. And again, that doesn't mean that Dorit is innocent, because she's not. She's not at all. So the other thing that they talk about in these texts is that Dorit was upset about PK's new girlfriend. Okay, so it's kind of been like he sort of implies that she confronted him about dating someone who allegedly looks like her. That was like out in the news, whatever. Um, PK says his new girlfriend is mature and respectful. And then Dorit kind of says, like, I never had an issue with your girlfriend. Like, you're just like making that up based on like social media and what people are saying. And then Dorit also accuses him of being like emotionally and physically absent from their kids' lives for the past 2 years. And that's when he responds with the like spending and the behavior during the separation. Okay. So clearly, they were allegedly in a good place when Dorit filmed the reunion, as we saw her say, but clearly that is not what's going on now. Clearly they're not in a good place at all. Because these texts are crazy. I posted them all on my Instagram story. If you Google if you want to sit down and read them, it took me a long time. Like I sat down and read all of them. It's a lot. Like it is like pages and pages of text. So if you want to read them and you're interested in that, you can definitely find them on Google or Reddit or TMZ. Like it's not hard to find. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It is an insane thing. Now, speaking of Amanda, because I was just talking about her a minute ago, people are wanting Amanda to come back. People think she was kind of vindicated at the reunion. People, myself included. Does that mean I like her as a person? Not really, to be honest. And I still think she's obnoxious. But I think she's not a bad housewife. Like she's like delusional. She believes her own bullshit. She doesn't know how to edit herself. Like she's just like, I didn't use a ghostwriter. I just sat down and wrote. Oh, I thought we wrote our books. Like she throws out these like little snide, snarky comments that are insults but it's really just her trying to prop herself up. Like that's a good housewife. Okay. So I'm good to have her back too. I think she'll create drama unnecessarily. She's got kind of some Karen energy, which I think works on that particular franchise. So yeah, let's get her going. However, somebody put on Threads, okay, front page pop wrote, unpopular opinion maybe, but Amanda 1000% deserves a second season. And XO Amanda Francis replied, why would I want to do that again, in all caps? Now, I don't know. Like, Amanda, I know you see that you got ripped apart by these women. However, sorry, I had to swallow my own saliva. However, why would you not go back now? Because now she's got a lot of the audience rallying. She came off very well from the reunion. And that means two things. If this cast is going forward as it is, they will treat her differently. Number one, because it's her second season. And number two, because of the audience, because that's how this cast is. So she'll be in a better position season 2. Now, from like a housewives expert, self-proclaimed, that's me, she'll have a terrible second season because that's often what happens. However, all that being said, I do think that I think she should return. I think she'd be dumb not to. I really think she would be stupid not to return. So I hope that she does. I've been hearing rumors about like all these housewives being on the chopping block, including like Dorit, Bose, Erica. And yeah, those are the 3 that people are saying are on the chopping block. I could believe Dorit is on the chopping block. I don't think Bose is. Do I think Dorit is? Yes. Could I see Erica? Maybe. But I don't know. This production company and Bravo, they seem to have something for Erica. They seem to like her. Maybe because she's dating this new guy who's like psycho. Maybe they're like, oh, this will bring something. Like eventually this guy will turn nuts and that'll be a storyline. I don't know. So if she's willing to film him and he's actually going to be on the show, maybe they'll give her another chance. I think Dorit's day is done. And I'm fine with it. I was on Dorit's side in terms of her argument with Kyle, because Kyle was doing what Kyle always does, which was like gaslighting someone till they freak out. But that being said, I still don't like Dorit. I don't like Erica. I don't like Dorit. I don't like Kyle. I can't stand any of them, if you want me to be honest. So it was like, who am I picking in the argument? I'll just pick who is right in principle. But that being said, Dorit's still really annoying and I've never liked her. So I don't care if she gets fired. Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of the update on that. But there's no official word on casting. And, there's always rumors. And you guys know what I always say, take all casting rumors with the biggest grain of salt because they're always the ones that are false. So we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, I must report on this. Ex Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Anna Marie Wiley, her husband Marcus Wiley, is being accused of sexual assault again. Okay, so trigger warning because I'm going to talk about this and there's going to be a little bit of details. Okay, but basically, he is accused of sexual assault by more women in the latest court filings. Okay, so one of the women who is accusing him is a former ESPN production assistant. Okay. And these new allegations are surfacing this month, basically in new court filings after 3 other women who previously sued him with allegations that he raped them in New York when he was a student and star football player at Columbia University. Oh God, she was the worst. Like, he's the worst and she's terrible too. And no, I'm not blaming a woman for her husband being a rapist. What I'm blaming her for was being terrible in her own right. And she did just seem like a little bit of an enabler type. Like, she was like, "Oh, he says I'm an 8. That's a compliment." He said, like, she just seemed very, I don't know, she seemed brainwashed by him. Like, I don't like, and maybe she is, like, maybe she's a victim and she's brainwashed by him. That's definitely a possibility. I dislike her for other reasons, involving just how she handled herself on the show, how she handled herself after the show. And I'm sorry, but she defended him many times on social media. So I can't have that much sympathy for her because she's defending this guy who's been accused multiple times of rape. So sorry, like that's all you're getting from me. But the lawsuit claims that Columbia University actually hid the rapes by Wiley, enabling him to have, this is a quote, enabling him to enjoy a reputation of safety, respect, and integrity, thereby endangering women who later encountered him. So Wiley denies the statements. All this is alleged, obviously, I have to say, allegedly. But yeah, he denies that he committed any of the wrongs alleged, denies that plaintiff or any other purported members of the class were harmed by him, and denies that the claims in the complaint are properly asserted as a class action. So yeah, so that was to the original claims. I don't know if he's made an official statement about the new claims, but yeah, people kind of pointed out, like, he frequently mentions that he has a degree from Columbia University, and that's kind of like his, like, part of his reputation, part of his way of manipulating people. Like, oh, I went to this like Ivy League university or whatever. Is Columbia Ivy League? I think it is. Okay. And one of the girls from the past complaints, like, she claims that he started grooming her when she was 13 years old. Like, that was when he first approached her. And I guess he visited her middle school in Buffalo, New York. That is so messed up. Like, her middle school. And he, like, showered her with gifts and all this kind of stuff, and made her think he was going to marry her one day. Flew her to Dallas, and then she says he shouted at her in a frightening manner and coerced her into sex on her 18th birthday after grooming her from the age of 13. She says, if Columbia had properly pursued the complaints, I would have never been groomed and raped, because I guess complaints were made. Now, the former ESPN assistant alleges that he lured her to a hotel room in 2009 under the guise of a work meeting, then emerged naked from a bathroom and attacked her. He pushed me up against the windows of the room so hard I thought they would shatter. I was petrified and believed I was going to be killed. She begged him to stop repeatedly, but he forced her onto the bed. Okay. And then there's more details I won't go into. She says the assault was devastating to me and I will live with the effects to this day. Wow. Okay. So yeah, so that's a lot of different allegations. There's more kind of details about other women, and they give details of exactly what happened from the 90s, the one from 2009, etc. But there's at least like 4 people who are claiming this. This is crazy. Okay. So I hope that he goes to jail for the rest of his life. That's all I'm going to say about that. And he's a piece of shit and a pig, and I hate him. Okay. So I hope that, sorry, it's not all I'm going to say. I hope these women can get justice. Okay. These women who are not named, they're Jane Doe in the filing. I hope they can get justice. I hope Anna Marie realizes, I don't know, like that these women are not lying. They're not just out to get your husband and to get money. Your husband is this. I'm sure she already knows that. And maybe she's in denial about it. Maybe she's brainwashed. I don't know. None of those are excuses, but she needs to leave this man. He needs to go away. And these women need their justice, period. Okay, let's go to some Real Housewives of Rhode Island news. So Kelsey was on Watch What Happens Live, and they ask her about the whole situation with Rula and the polo match. Did he go meet the mistress? All this stuff. So this is what Kelsey says. She says that she does think he went to go meet the mistress. And then she kind of gives us some more information. She says that somebody being the mistress was threatening to show up places where she wasn't invited. And basically he had to leave to like calm her down. So basically Kelsey says that this woman, she was not invited to the filming in the polo match. She was maybe sending texts and losing her shit or threatening to show up there or something like that. And like he had to go do damage control to make sure that she wasn't going to show up and make a scene on camera for the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. That's basically what Kelsey says, which I thought was some pretty like detailed, intense tea. Because like I was just thinking, did he just leave like just to go like have a booty call with his mistress? Like that's crazy. Like I was like, why would he just leave? But this does make a lot more sense because just leaving in that moment when you've already been accused and you look suspect on camera and then you're leaving to go do that, like it like to me was like insane. I was like, is he like that horny? Like what's happening? But now that I know this, I'm like, oh, that makes more sense. Because listen, she has tagged Bravo in posts. She does seem like he is at fault 100%. That doesn't also mean that she isn't like maybe a bit thirsty and like fame thirsty and annoyed. You know, maybe she's also like, he told me he's going to leave his wife. I should be the one on Housewives. Like, who knows what's going on in her head? But, you know, two things can be true. She can be acting kind of crazy and it is probably his fault because men can drive women crazy. Behind every crazy woman, there's usually a man. Let's just be honest. But yeah, so that's probably what's going on. Thank you, Kelsey, for sharing that. Thank you, Real Housewives of Rhode Island, for sharing so much. They share a lot. Like, I am very impressed with this cast. I just love them. I just love them. And I gotta say, like, Kelsey, you know, I enjoyed watching her on Watch What Happens Live. She's dynamic to watch because she's kind of got like this like soft, sweet tone and she's so beautiful, but she also has this really like nasty side to her, which is coming out with the whole Rosie of it all. Now I'm behind. Okay. I have not watched the newest episode because that last weekend really just screwed up my whole schedule. So I'm going to watch it, but you know, I do not love Rosie. Okay. I just get an annoying kind of vibe from her. She's a bit try hard. She's obnoxious. Like I totally get why a lot of the women don't like her. I just think she doesn't like gel that well with the group. Now, all that being said, she's right though. She's right in terms of like Kelsey did give her at that dinner. She totally gave her a backhanded compliment. Like it was an insult wrapped up in a compliment. And it was mean. And then she gets upset about it, which she has the right to. And then they all act like she's the one who's crazy. Like Kelsey is unnecessarily like, it's okay. You don't have to like Rosie. I understand Rosie is like your bitch eating crackers or whatever, but like just when she does something that's worth pointing out or getting mad at, then you can do that. But like the whole thing with like, you didn't post me on Instagram, my hairstyling, that was stupid. This thing at the dinner was stupid. Like, it's like kind of getting ridiculous. It is. And like now you're just these Bravo stars, they never learn. The more you gang up on someone, even if that person sucks, whether they suck or not, I don't know Rosie well enough to say she sucks. It's too soon. I can point out that she's a bit thirsty, but the more you do that, the more you're going to blind the audience to seeing what's annoying about them. Like if you just let Rosie just Rosie, people would probably like Kelsey more and be like, God, Rosie's so obnoxious. And you would get what you want. But when you pick at them and you try to make it happen, it blinds people to it. Case in point, this is kind of what happened on the Valley last season. Like Danny grabbed someone's ass and was like, you know, maybe has an alcohol problem and is clearly a terrible person. But Janet and others tried so hard to like force it and make it a thing that everyone's attention and target gets turned back on to them. Right. So everybody was like, oh my God, like stop, like, why are you like outing someone's alcoholism? Why did you? And then she like outed Nia going to Alcoholics Anonymous on Watch What Happens Live, like all that kind of stuff, or Al-Anon on Watch What Happens Live. You're just distracting from how terrible Danny is. Like you want everyone to know that he has a drinking problem and that when he drinks, he's a terrible person and he assaults women and all that kind of stuff, which fine, they did out that. And you know, the audience was like, that's wrong. He should not have done that. However, he's made up with Jasmine and Melissa, and now they've moved on. So like, what do you want us to do about it? It's kind of like when you beat the dead horse and you're constantly trying to like target someone, you end up making that person look like the victim, even if they're not the victim. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not blaming Janet for Danny being terrible. I'm on a complete tangent here. I'm just saying that this is what always happens on Housewives. It's exactly what happened with Amanda. Just let Amanda Francis be annoying on Beverly Hills. Okay? And the audience will see how annoying she is. But then they start ganging up on her and nitpicking about things, and then people take her side. And, you know, case in point, this season, Janet and everyone just kind of backed off and they just let Danny be Danny. And guess what? We're all seeing that he's a terrible piece of shit pig, like plain as day. And I posted about this on Threads and I had someone reply and be like, some of us saw it right away because we've been with men like that. Absolutely. Absolutely, you did. But you also have to remember that a large portion of the audience, they may not have that sixth sense. They may not have been with a man like that. They may have not, like, they may not recognize those little subtle signs as much. And people could be like, well, he sexually assaulted someone. That's not a subtle sign. He grabbed someone's ass. However, there's a lot of people who know guys or are friends with guys who've been drunk and grabbed an ass one time, and they're not maybe a completely terrible person. They had a bad moment and they didn't do it. So they might see that differently. Like it just depends on, and again, I'm not excusing that because that's ridiculous and terrible, but you know, it doesn't necessarily equal they are how Danny is in his marriage. In this case, it does though, because Danny is terrible. And like, I need him off the show. Like he's, you know, he's awful. I never wanted Janet off the show because I actually think Janet is a good villain. Janet's a great villain. Like she's like a low stakes villain. She's like, you know, a villain in the suburbs. Like I think it's hilarious. All this being said, Janet still sucks in her own ways. She still sucked for other reasons. I still don't like her because of how she came at Kristen. And because she was a snake with the Kristen thing, and in other fights, the Danny thing, she was right. He's a weirdo and a sexual assaulter. I will give her that 100%. But she was wrong in how just the way that she delivered it, because she delivered it in a way that just seemed like she was trying to force the audience to have an opinion. And it was an opinion based on things that we mostly didn't see. Right. You know, and it's like the amount, like whatever the editing was. And it was like, okay, he's drinking in a closet. Who cares? Like it was stupid stuff like that. Just let the man be a pig and we will see it. And here we are seeing it. Right. And I am wondering, like like watching this season of The Valley, I know I'm supposed to be talking about Rhode Island right now, but whatever. Watching the season of The Valley, like what was edited out? Like because the way Danny is acting right now, I'm like, this cannot be the first time he's acting like this. Like, was he like I know Nia protected him to a point, because he would get mad or start acting like a belligerent drunk, and she would be like, okay, we're leaving now, and like pull him away. But I'm also wondering how much editing protected him, because now I feel like there was more scenes like this, like the scene that we just saw in last episode where she's supposed to be getting Danny ready with the drag and stuff, and he's being a complete piece of shit. So I'm wondering, like, were there a lot of moments like that edited out? I wouldn't be shocked, because it's an Alex Baskin show and he notoriously like protects guys like this until he absolutely can't, because it's like the storyline that's needed. So I could see like this season, there's not a lot going on this season. So I could see them being like, listen, we know you like to protect the misogynist, abusive assholes on your show, but we have no other storyline. So like I could see that. I could also see that they seem like Alex Baskin and that production company, they seem to really like Lala. So I could see now that her being on the show and the fact that she's friends with Janet, I could see them giving her some favor. Like, I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah. So Danny sucks. Fire Danny. I hope Nia leaves him. I just don't have a lot of confidence in it, because they have 4 kids, and that's very difficult when you have 4 kids. Not that he does anything or helps the kids at all, but yeah, it's what a shit situation. Okay, did I have other Rhode Island news after that complete tangent I just went on? I don't even know if anything I just said makes sense, but Danny sucks, and I hope he stubs his toe every time he walks into a room for the rest of his life. I hate him so much. Okay. Dolores and Liz from I don't know if we can say Dolores is from Rhode Island anymore at this point. However, they, in the after show, I did want to point this out because I thought this was funny. They call Ashley Iaconetti a confessional warrior who doesn't show up in scenes. I liked this, because number one, it's true. And number two, like, she doesn't show up like super hard in scenes, but she does give her opinion more. And I also feel like this is going to be something that is going to force Ashley at the reunion to really take part in Housewives. Because to me, Ashley's kind of working as like, yes, she stood up for Rosie in that moment, which at the dinner table, which good for her, because she should have stood up for her, because Rosie needed standing up for, and they were all wrong. But that being said, Ashley is kind of acting like she's like the Greek chorus. Like she's just there to kind of like oh my God, these women are so crazy. Oh my God, they're so scary. Oh my God, I'm so innocent. Like, this isn't The Bachelor. This isn't whatever. Like, you need to take part. Okay. If you have things to say, you need to say them. So I do hope that she gets called on that. And I hope she steps it up for season 2. And I want her on season 2. I actually don't want them to change the cast at all. They don't need Dolores as a friend, but I think this cast is great. Like, let's go. Let's go, cast. Okay, what else we got? We do have some Valley news, which I just finished ranting about the Valley, so let's talk about it. Okay. So Zach was on Watch What Happens Live, and a couple noteworthy things that he says is that he does not see Jax anymore. But he says, but maybe other people on the cast do. We all know who he's implying. Janet and her husband, what's his name? Jason. This is the other reason why I can't give Janet too much credit. Was she right about the Danny thing, etc.? Yes. But that whole season, her and Jason were like trying to protect Jax and give him like this like sympathetic edit when he'd been physically abusive to his wife. So that's why I'm like, yeah, we as the audience care. We want to know like who the abusers are, and we want them out. But you only care when it's someone that you don't like. So because you don't like Nia and Danny, you wanted to, like, and that was the other reason that people didn't take Janet seriously. Because it's like, are you doing this because you actually care about this topic? Or is it because you just don't like Danny and Nia? Like, Danny's a piece of shit. absolutely. But so is Jax. And you and Jason were there crying with him. And, well, I think he's making strides and like, fuck off. And clearly they're still talking to him. So, yeah. Zach also says that him and Britt would be great friends if she would trim a couple of friendships. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying Zach and Janet a little bit with their dynamics so far this season. I think it's kind of funny, like how she sort of teases him about like, we're besties and he like doesn't like it. I think it's kind of funny. Like I could see these two being friends again one day. I'm calling it now. I think these two are going to end up being friends. Unfortunately, now I have to end on some very sad news, which is the passing of Archie Bador. Everyone's favorite dog, our favorite dog in the Bravoverse, the most universally loved Bravo TV star that we've ever had. I can't believe that Archie is gone. Honestly, like I'm not even like one of those like dog obsessed people. Like I like dogs, but I don't like have a dog. I had a dog growing up, but I'm not like obsessed with dogs. And I'm like obsessed with Archie. Like he was just the best. Such a good boy. All dogs go to heaven. And, Shannon had made a post last week talking about how, Archie had multiple seizures. He was diagnosed with brain cancer. Their hearts ache. They're going to do everything they can to help him fight this. They're going to see a neurologist, an oncologist. It was recommended he started radiation soon. She asked people to reach out in DMs if they had any good leads on like doggy on veterinarians and stuff. But unfortunately, Archie passed. So Shannon posted a picture of Archie that she had taken of him on the beach with like little doves, peace doves flying above his head. And she wrote, heaven has a new special angel. Archie passed away yesterday, and the girls and I are heartbroken. For the last 10 years, Archie wasn't just my dog. He was my constant comfort, protector, best friend, and truly the real man in my life. I've been through so many highs and lows, and through every good time and every heartache, Archie was always by my side and loved me the same way every single day, never judging me and always giving pure, loyal, and unconditional love. I'm grateful to so many fans. I'm grateful, so many fans had the chance to watch Archie grow up. Everyone that got to know him could see his gentle heart and sweet soul. He was loved so much and felt all of it, even winning his Best Appearance award at BravoCon. Stella was able to fly home from Paris, and Archie spent his last day doing his favorite things, standing in the ocean, sitting in the park, and eating, a lot of eating, more than just his usual carrots. One of the most selfless and thoughtful things Archie did was to bring Troy into our lives so we aren't alone. There is such a void in our household right now. Troy continues to look for his big brother, which is heartbreaking. I keep thinking he is just taking a nap, but Archie is now a very special angel in heaven and is swimming, running, and playing catch with no more pain. The girls and I are so blessed to have spent 10 years with the most incredible companion anyone could ask for. I am going to be posting a lot about our handsome boy. There are so many amazing memories, and thank you is not even an accurate phrase to express our gratitude for so many of you that have reached out with your love and support. Please give your animals a hug and kiss for Archie today. And if anyone doubts the love that Archie has from the Bravo community, this post has 35,000 comments, which is insane. I can't see the likes, but I'm sure it's triple that. It's probably in the six digits, but wow, like everyone just reaching out. Everyone loves Archie so much. So we are so sorry, Shannon and Shannon's family, for that loss. Thinking of Archie, all dogs go to heaven. Okay, everyone, you are now in the know for everything Bravo. And until next time, thank you. Bye.